All glory, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. God is good, and here we are meeting with godly persons, happily. Jai Shri Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridharadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, and Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai, Vishwarani Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. And all the way from Australia to wherever Rupanuga Prabhu is, who could be in Australia, we never know, through South Africa and through Switzerland, and all the way over to Salt Lake City, and all the way over and down to Brazil. We are here with the devotees beginning promptly on time our back to basics. And this week, I do have a note that Leela Moy Prabhu is going to share some things with you. He's here in Vila Govinda Ashram, and back to basics. We're all in the back to basics class. We remind ourselves constantly, and definitely not flying in the sky. We know what is the pure devotion. We've seen pure devotion. We aspire for that, no doubt. It is our daydream. But may our pure devotees really graciously look upon us. We are hopeful but helpless. Hare Krishna. From Rupanuga Prabhu to everyone. I'm in Bali. Okay, wherever you are, chant Hare Krishna. Tell others about Krishna. Chant the names of Gauranga and Nityananda. Tell others about Gauranga and Nityananda. Jai Rupanuga Prabhu. Happy to know you're in Bali on your way to Govinda Farm. And Jai Gauranga Prabhu in Australia or in Govinda Farm? Australia. I see by the...
Yes, Australia.
Yeah. And behind Sevarupa, there is something which is too small for me to read. Mommy, I love you. Okay, okay. And there you are, you see, innocent, the innocent love between a child for the parent and parent for the child. Not a business deal, but a relationship of affection. All right, Leela Moy Prabhu, please start us off on today's back to basics. You've had a whole week of preparation. What are you going to reveal to us on the theme?
Okay, Dandava Pranams to all of you. I am trying to, making some technical things back to bit. Okay, I'm ready. This theme of the basics of our devotional life, and a monster. Okay.
You are you are just stealing my lines. Okay.
Okay, in this theme of back to basics, in the last weeks I was reading Bhagavatam, and in the 6th canto I found a really interesting verses. That's a good reminding to this our position. I'm going to put in the chat, and we can read together. Okay. This is the 6th canto. I'm not sure which.
Don't worry, Sevarupa, let us know. You do your reading.
Okay. It's saying about our fortune. This is a remind us that how fortunate we are. This is Parikshit Maharaj talking with Shukadeva Goswami. And it started like Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Start like this. In this material world, there are as many living entities as atoms. Among these living entities, a very few are human beings, and among them, few are interested in following religion's principles. All best of the Brahmanas, Shukadeva Goswami, out of many persons who follow religion principles, only a few desire liberation from the material world. Among many thousands who desire liberation, one may actually achieve liberation, giving up material attachment to society, friendship, love, country, home, wife, and children. And among many thousands of such liberated persons, one who can understand the true meaning of liberation is very rare. O great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. So this is a more clear than that. It's hard to find that our fortunate, we can add in the text of that really few persons are in the line of Mahaprabhu and are fortunate enough to be disciples, to have great masters as Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and our dear Madhusudan Maharaj. It's giving us so much mercy, so much fortunate that we can sometimes in our daily life, in our daily activities, maybe we can forget or something like this, but really this is rare opportunity. In this last few days, we're reading in our daily reading here in Italy. Srila Maharaj, its emphasis in this point that we shouldn't waste any moment, any time, that we use properly our time, because our time here in this world is short, and we have 100 years of visa of 100 years in this body. Then we can utilize 100%, that we should utilize 100% of our time in service, and try to be devotees. This is our way, our life, and by this we can be really happy. Yeah, many things to be said, but I think Maharaj will clarify more the subject. Chai.
Hare Krishna. Okay, now who's going to say? I think we mentioned last week that two devotees will speak this week. We'll give first chance. So first chance given to Leela Prabhu. And by the way, in our readings, in the morning, in the evening, the two books in the morning, the book in the evening we're reading, and in our listening, this theme of urgency really is prominent. And then in our life, we've also got experience of others just this very week, of like the urgency of applying Krishna consciousness, because we really don't know how much time we have left. We really don't know. We can't leave it till the next day. And Srila Guru Maharaj, in Loving Search for the Lost Servant, was also stressing this. We can't leave it to the next day or to later on, later on, yes, I'll be serious in religious life, but it's the urgency is right now. So this theme has come up a lot, and then as some of our devotees here on Facebook have no direct experience this week. Somebody can be walking down the street and then some loud sound, and then you're crushed, left your body, and you think, oh my goodness, what happened? And this happened exactly this week. And like shocking event. But shocking event when we are witness to it and when we hear about it, like firsthand from the devotees, then we also are reminded. It's a reminder for us. Why is Krishna letting us see such a thing or hear such a thing like firsthand? It's one thing to read something in the newspaper. It's another thing to hear it from the heart of someone who's just seen such an event take place. So again, heart to heart, I mean, really feelings are there. But we're allowed to see, we're allowed to share that experience. Why? To help wake us up. So we are also part of, sharing that experience, because I'm still shocked. Shocked means we know some years ago, the World Health Organization, like the official spokesman for the world about, diseases and dangers and everything, they had a figure of something like 3,000 people every day die on the roads. And many of them are pedestrians and cyclists. And actually, the report I said was, and this is from years ago that I read this, it said, and a disproportionate number of those are pedestrians and cyclists. In the car, everyone's kind of protected, one hand talking with others and checking the internet or whatever else may be, and feeling very protected, but the weaker gets crushed and smashed. 3,000 people every day. And I don't know about each of you. I know several people who died in road accidents. I know more than several people who had injuries which go their whole life from road accidents. And so we need to be careful. We're all, whether it's a road or whether it's anything, the point is that within a split second, anything can happen in this world. But birth, death, old age, and disease is where we live. But while we are alive, while we are human, it's our big chance. Let us take this opportunity, and especially our big chance when we've been brought into such association as Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Hare Krishna. Who else are we going to ask to speak this week?
It was Chintamani, that she's in India.
Chintamani,
Yes.
right. She's in India. And by the way, a quick question for Radha Sundari Diri. I see she's just come into our Zoom meeting. Is it true you're coming to Thailand, to Govinda Farm, very soon for the Kartik festival, Radha Sundari? Krishna, Krishna. Waiting to hear. Maybe, oh, she's probably taking her daughter to school. Anyway, she slipped away just now. So not convenient for her to give a reply. But I did hear that she was going to come, so we're very happy to know that. And Leela Moy Prabhu is coming also from Thailand. And his wife is here, Lakshmi Peer. She's here with a young child, 6 months old yesterday, half a birthday. Half a birthday and first grain ceremony here in Vila Govinda Ashram. Suklamba, he was born in Mayapur, Navadip. All right, dear devotees, what is your question? Does anybody have a question? And Seva Rupa, did you find that chapter quote? Oh, Jai Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. Acha. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam. It was Canto 6, Prescribed Duties for Mankind. Chapter 14, verses 3 to 5. Okay. Very good. And where else do we get such chapters as prescribed duties for mankind and the behavior of a perfect person, behavior of a householder? I may not exactly have the chapter titles right, but these chapters which are giving guidance of how to live in this world, not just how to exploit and do better than others at the cost of others, exploit nature, earn more by cheating others more, find a way to squeeze money out of others and you get a promotion, a bigger car, bigger wage packet because you found a better way to get money out of others. This is the motivation in the world. But for what? And we've met people who are wealthy, truly wealthy, but with very limited interest to know about religious life beyond how to add more zeros to the end of their bank account, already with many zeros. But we enter the world naked, we leave the world naked. Hare Krishna. So, Chintamani Devi Rasi, she is in India, and let's see where she is. Are you free to say a few words? We did mention last week that, or last, back to basics, we'd ask you to share a little realization or something on arriving in India. But I know last week she was at the western side. She was in Delhi on her way to meet up with a pilgrimage group. But now she looks like her picture. She's someone else. Oh, I'm sure she would be speaking. I'm sure she would be speaking if she was in a place where she's able to speak. She's a happy speaker. She's sending her Dandavat, and let's see whether there's something more in the message. All right. So anyway, okay, so there are some chats coming into the chat box. I'm doing a hair and face mask. Oh, come on. Can't really share, but I'd like to hear from Ganga Leela Didi. And Ganga Leela Didi is with us. She is indeed with us, with a picture of her in Vrindavan, I think. And Chintamani sending Dandavat, and I'm still in Delhi. Well, you see, that's very honest and open-hearted confessing to having hair and face mask. Hare Krishna. Gangalila Didi, you're being invited by Chintamani and by us all if you'd like to share something with us.
I don't know what to share. It's dark here. It's late. I've had a long, difficult day. I'm missing out on Kartik. You know that I plan to come, right?
I
And
do.
then
Yes.
I've had like some real issues with my I have stress fracture in my hip, and it's very painful and I can't travel. And I found out just a few days ago that I need hip replacement. So
Oh,
it's a yeah, um so yeah, it's like I don't know anything and I can't come to this year to Kartik and next year hopefully because everybody says the recovery is easy and then I'll dance even better. So I'm planning on like a lot of dancing. I mean, this is how I get it. I like to move around. So yeah, it's a difficult day and my faith is deepening. I am really able to let go of that idea that I have to figure it all out and that I'm completely by myself. And that's pretty much my past, that I've felt that I have to think it all out. I have to come up with not only the ideas and the solutions to all my problems, but that I'm also having to come up with unfathomable amount of energies to do all this. And now I feel, where are you? I just see myself. That's so weird. And now I'm realizing that that Krishna is doing all these arrangements for my and everybody else's best interest. So this is all I can practice now. Are you still everyone there? Because I just see myself here.
No, we are, because you're the speaker, then your image comes to the front.
Oh, I see. Ah, yeah, that was like, oh, but I'm just by myself here. And that's funny because I was just saying, like in the past, I would feel like I'm by myself, and now I'm realizing that I'm not. And I have tremendous support, which is all I feel it is new to really take it, also to be the recipient, and in ways of how I deal with my life. And it's been difficult. I'm going to spare you the rest, but actually today I just actually just before 5 minutes before this meeting, I put some bail down so my son can get out of jail. And you know, so it's all these things. And when I said to my son, he was freaking out because they don't turn off the lights and they're not lying down. So it's basically it's crazy making. I think it's not a healthy environment. So I was telling him, look at the place what's not touched by all this drama, you know. And then I really went there with him, and that he could do that with people he was actually afraid of. They're sitting next to him because they're waiting for the next thing, which takes hours. So they just sit in some waiting room, and he doesn't want to fight with them. He's actually afraid of them. And then he found a place where he's not touched by what's going on. And then going there with him makes me think, like, if I can bring that to him, I must have that. Because before that, I would go like, yeah, I'm just thinking I have it, but I don't really. And I felt just tonight that I need to stop that self-sabotaging thought that I don't have it, because I do. I have that place where it is not touched by not going to Thailand, not doing this and doing that, and some of it I like. And what I think the fear is not really like, oh, pain, oh, difficulty. It's more like it's the unknown. Like for my son, for me, it's like I don't really know what that all means. And I'm more home with that now. So I don't know if I'm talking too much here. So my Krishna consciousness is, for me, very interesting, and I love Krishna Kartar, and I love to listen. I read a lot, I study it a lot. I'm in sadhusanga, etc. I'm luckily also with devotees in my life, you know, like face to face, and I go to festivals. You know, I'm one of those. I go to ISKCON here because it's around the corner, and so I do have connection. But where I need it most is also in my spirituality applied to my daily life. And now I feel like it's starting to be available that way. It's not two things like, oh, what I study and what is given in the scriptures, what Guru is saying, suggesting, speaking, sharing from their experience. And I feel there's some of it has sunk into a place where it can actually make it so it is practical. It's actually step by step through this mundane life. Like, it is really a roadmap. I do have a GPS now, and I do not have to go back to feeling lost and think that means surrender. No, feeling lost does not mean surrender. It's more like I think I'm getting found. Like today, it was all too much, and I was able to say to myself, well, if it was too much, I wouldn't be getting this. This is probably just about the amount I can deal with, right? And I'm like, okay. So my self-talk has tremendously changed, and it doesn't even sound fake anymore. And so it's a big share, because it's been really, really hard the last few weeks. And I'm so lucky that it goes to a place where I really needed it. I needed finally to see that there is no longer, it's not necessary to separate spiritual life and my mundane daily life. It's not only not necessary, it's actually in my way. It was in my way that I felt that those are parallel things. They aren't parallel. There's one thing. It's one thing. Yeah, that's my big share.
Yes, Gangalila Didi, if you only said that sentence or two sentences, then that would be a big boost for us all, a big reminder for us all for the week, actually, because this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's message, it's Guru Maharaj's message, it's this message of urgency which we've been hearing all week for us. We've been hearing this all week. And then other incidents happening. In your life, this has happened. In somebody else's life, some other drama has happened. I mean, really drama. And somebody else, I mean, yours is a drama, but there's gradation of drama. I mean, there's drama everywhere. But I do have a question. Your son, does he have some understanding or appreciation of Krishna consciousness?
He does. So he, as a child, I took him to ashram for children's yoga. So he was, you know, he was basically around a lot of more like, you know, Shivananda yoga. So he was around initiated people. He has since childhood. He went to ISKCON temples, and this year he came to the Govinda Mela with me and my friends. So he was reserved the first day, and he actually found some people he chimed well with, and I think because of that's on Govinda Mela, that was in July, I think a real curtain dropped for him, and he also doesn't see it as well. They can maybe do all these practices because he's not doing the rounds, but I think he got over that. He still has a seed of divine love for God and has an understanding that God loves him very much. He does have that, even though he's not choosing at this point in his life to, you know, chant so and so many rounds. But I think so. I think it's he had it all his life around him. I think so. I feel he's actually divinely protected because he's done so many things which are just so outrageously strange. He must be. He is. I think I really see that he is divinely protected, and that is also part of my Krishna consciousness. I'm not making that up.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. When these dramatic things do happen, it can really be a wake-up call for each of us. And we have, you know, quite famously, because it was made famously, one devotee whose son kind of was, he brought up, he's born, you know, in a devotee family, brought up in a devotee family, but he didn't really take to it. He just saw what his parents were doing and he carried on. But then when he was late teens, or maybe early 20, but late teens, early 20, he traveled around the world, as late teens and early 20s do, if they're able to, quite often. And anyway, he got into some difficulty while traveling, and you know, a little bit serious difficulty. And then anyway, everything resolved presently, because in every dip there's a rise. This is the nature of the world: happiness, distress, heat, cold, birth, death, all these things. And when he came home, after some time, he said, "And Father, I have a confession from my traveling time." And his dad, very nervous, oh no, what's he going to confess? But what he confessed was, when I was in that difficulty, I confess, Father, I was chanting Hare Krishna. He knew, he could understand that, you know, there's something in this chanting of Hare Krishna, and now time when we're in difficulty. So it can bring out the good side of us. We hope it'll bring out the good side of us, as you are seeing, when we can appreciate what Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Veda Vyas, what everyone is telling us, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us, this to adjust to the environment. Lord Brahma, that verse, Tateno Kampang Susamikshamano, it's from Lord Brahma in Srimad Bhagavatam. To adjust to the environment, to see it is favorable, and to take the lessons. And as we take the lessons, then we hope that the lessons will be a little more gentle in course of time. But when we are on the university course, then everybody knows when you go to the postgraduate course, it doesn't necessarily get easier. In fact, it's quite likely to get more challenging. But Krishna consciousness challenge is not the challenge of endeavor, it comes to the stage of, yes, I'm coming home, I'm on my way. And with some pull of affection from that side, that pull means the magnetic attraction, then the mundane world, we do come to see what all of the great personages, the great princes, Raghunath Das was as a prince, and Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were the chief ministers within the government. They were leading very opulent, luxurious lives. And they are all coming to tell us clearly that this whole world, it is a place of misery where birth and death take place, and we need to come to our home, the land of love, beauty, sweetness, and charm. So somehow or another, we get these wake-up calls, and we wake up for a while, and then we tend to, I'm not saying about you, Gangalila Didi, but we tend to, after a drama takes place and then things ease up, then we tend to take life more casually, more for granted. But we must remember that the greatest souls who had, you can say, the greatest success of what people strive for all their lives, they want to be in such a position, they are saying, there is nothing in this world except birth and death, and the opportunity, what is in this world, especially with our human body, we can come to learn what is actual knowledge. That's to come home. And in this age, come home doesn't just mean to come out from birth and death, which is just getting relief of the suffering. And it doesn't just mean, even though just is not the right word to use, coming to Vaikuntha, where everything is perfect and where there is absolute harmony in the service of Narayan, very kingly, everyone's very opulent, many have got the same features as Narayan. But crossing all of that super plane, super area, crossing all that, coming to Goloka Vrindavan, the land of beauty, sweetness, attraction, affection, love. Easy to say. So here we are, we're getting our world lessons, and world lessons in the school of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Gangalila Didi, you're giving us all a world lesson from the heart, expressing really how not to separate, not to make, yes, spiritual life is what we do at this time, worldly life is another time, or in any other way to separate the two. We're being taught how to breathe, how to think, how to do everything, but from the thinking part outwards, not from the external part inwards. We are taught how to think. When we think properly, everything else will become adjusted. And we can't dedicate ourselves to mundane things, because they must be frustrated in the end, because everything we dedicate ourselves to in the mundane world, it's going to be zero when we leave the body. And like Gurudev said, the king and the rickshaw driver, he uses those two examples. When their bodies have gone to the crematorium, they're both sitting beside each other on the branch of a tree, watching their bodies. Okay, bye-bye body, bye-bye body. But they're sitting beside each other, they're equals. Then consider, oh, where are we going to go now? What's our destination? So we need to make our destination clear, make our connection clear, make our shelter clear in this lifetime, and not just float kicked about by karma, but progress helped by the loving hand of the Lord. So Leela Mahaprabhu has begun with this idea of the urgency and the rarity. And when something is very rare, then we also want to preserve it very much. If we have a very rare diamond or something like this, we want to preserve it very much. And this connection of Krishna consciousness of this caliber, that we are connected with at this time. It is very rare, and we should try to preserve it very much. Preserve means protect what we have and continue in that journey. When we've been given a plane ticket, now people want a plane ticket to Jupiter or somewhere, where they'll find they can settle down perfectly and live happily ever after. But it, we know, is absolute foolishness, and billions of dollars going for what? While people still don't have basic amenities, and people are asking $5, $10 to come and help people who don't have the basic clean water to start with. But this is always going to go on, the hypocrisy of the world. But if we get a free ticket to go to the perfect place, the land of that fables indicate, but fable is fable. Storybook, I don't know what story, I'm not familiar with the really, thankfully I'm not so familiar with the children's stories. I've forgotten most of them, but was it Jack and the Beanstalk? Something like this. Some stories of like magic and this magic beans and going to a special place where, oh, very happy. I don't remember the whole story, but this idea, these are known as fables. It's not true, but they're based on truth. And in the traditions of India, the children are brought up with the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. And as Guru Maharaj points out, they are not fables. They're telling us of the land of Ramachandra, the land of Krishna, and the different aspects of that plane. And maybe it was here on Back to Basics, but we did read recently where Srila Guru Maharaj is saying directly, Krishna is not an object is not a fable, something like that. He's not just a character within a fable. Krishna is reality. Reality, the beautiful. And now I can only see myself. Oh, so I click, at least I can click away so I can't see myself anymore. Yes, Gangalila Didi. And may the devotees all give you their best wishes. Gurudev is always concerned when devotees are in difficulty. And there is no doubt that his good wishes gave infinite relief to so many in the world. In difficulty, and infinite relief to so many who apparently not in difficulty, but whose hunger was aroused for, yes, we do want real Krishna consciousness, not pretend, not this, not that, but searching for reality and searching for reality from the real source. So much encouragement to everyone to hold on tight. And I think last time we did quote Guru Maharaj saying, by hook or by crook, we must continue in our Krishna consciousness. Not wait, not put it to the side, not think that our material duties are the priority. We must look after material things, otherwise everything will completely fall apart. But we must do it in Krishna consciousness. And we are not the doer, that's the other thing. Surrender means that we are coming to Krishna and we do our necessity, our duties, but the result is not up to us. Part of the ABC of Bhagavad Gita, when we hear Bhagavad Gita from the source that knows not only the ABC, but the spelling, the sentence, the message contained within the words and sentences. And that is the pure souls headed by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, headed by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, headed by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bilvamang, Baladev Vidyabhus and Vishwanath Chakravarti. Great pillars along the way. This is our heritage. Coat of arms. This is in England, I don't know, in America and other places, maybe they don't do it. But in England, they used to have, maybe still do, they would have what's called a coat of arms. Coat of arms being like a design in some shape which symbolizes the family heritage, or like this. When it's an aristocratic family, they have their coat of arms. But this is our coat of arms, the tilak. This is our simple, sweet, beautiful coat of arms. Anybody wearing tilak, they always suddenly look very beautiful, very handsome, very elegant, auspicious. They look auspicious. As anybody wears tilak. So that is also a nice way from outside to inside. In that sense, wear tilak, then we can remind ourselves we are devotees. Oh, Sevarupadiri, she's been very busy in South Africa. She's giving us a quote from Sermons Volume 4, the free flow of the Absolute. Now, this sounds very familiar. Question. Well, almost a question, because Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj cuts him off or her off. Sometimes we feel the intensity very strongly, as we're hearing today. This intensity becomes strong. And then, how long? Oh, it's a very short quote. Srila Guru Maharaj saying, what to speak of us? We are to understand that we are to understand these principles first. To attain to that position is imaginary and a story-like thing, like a fable. First let us enter into the area. But we need not be discouraged. Grace is there. Grace has got no limit. There is no fear of being bankrupt about Krishna. There is no question of Krishna being bankrupt there. Infinite! Exclamation mark. But to our faith, it is difficult, very difficult to get that. But His grace is there. Grace is not conditional, for it may come to any place. No one is sufficiently low that he cannot get His grace. Grace is free. It can embrace anyone. The most fallen may be graced, and one who is puffed up with his own qualities may be neglected. Yes. But there was another quote about Krishna is not a character within a fable, something like that. But yes, happily. Hare Krishna. And so next time we meet, if the Lord is willing, we always have to put that, then we'll be speaking to you ourselves from Thailand, a more central part of the world from Vedic understanding. And I heard Sara Siromani, your sister or your brother is coming to Thailand? This
my sister.
Okay. And what understanding has she got of Krishna consciousness? An introduction, or she's been with the devotees for a while?
She's been coming consistently with me the past 2 years, but she's been on a lot of trips that are months long at a time, but she came to Govinda Mela. Her and her boyfriend both um have been practicing. They both have gone vegetarian recently. Um, and she also lived in the Ecuador ashram for maybe a month.
Okay. Beautiful. Krishna is getting her on the hook. Mahaprabhu is getting her on the hook of the fishing rod, as it were, drawing her towards the land of beauty and sweetness. And yesterday, we were looking in our fish pond. And here, the fish pond in front of Srila Gurudev's Samadhi, Pushpa Samadhi. And the fish, we were showing actually the young child, the fish, and showing all these fish. But then we see that really it is another planet, basically, under the water. It's another world entirely. What they breathe is different than what we breathe. How they move around, how they communicate, what they do. It's a completely different world. And this idea of being fished out from like a deathly environment, from this plane, this planet, being fished out to Goloka Vrindavan, to a completely different air, a different nature and everything. It does have some analogies, does have some relevance, but as we point out, not the one example covers everything, except the example which we can't understand, and that is that we change from being selfish, any selfish desire for ourselves, to be selfless, only the desire to please the Lord and his devotees. That is reality. But because we cannot grasp that at this moment, then we are given so many examples to try to use words to point in that direction. And hence the Vedas say, and they are the books of words, aren't they, after all? And the Vedas say, we couldn't express sufficiently. When they saw Krishna's Leela, his high, sweetest, generous Leela, said, we could not express sufficiently with our words. Please forgive us. Hare Krishna. Good. And Dana, Dana, I heard your message and reciprocated by heart. I'll try to reciprocate with my fingers very soon. Means by typing. Govinda. But reciprocate by heart, most certainly. Hare Krishna. Any contribution or question? Leela Moipu was smiling. He's got more to say. You've had
Maharaj,
1 week.
excuse me, can I just add something to what you
Yes.
said
Yes, you can.
before
Please.
Leela Prabhu continues?
He's shaking his head for him continuing, but nodding his head for you contributing. Yes, Priyanana, please. Share.
Dhanavats to all. And
Early in the morning, isn't it, in St. Petersburg?
yeah, it's 10 to 6, so it's okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to add to those words when you said like the one who's puffed up with the qualities may not get it, but the one like, who's devoid of qualities or like, does have less can like get it. And recently I also had some things like spinning in my head, like it's about the temple, and sometimes it seems like some people do more than the others, or others do nothing, and those who seemingly do more, they start to think, oh, like what's happening, and so on. Although we are meant to look just at ourselves. But then for several days I was thinking about it, and the answer came through the first verse from our Gurvashtaka. When it says that the Guru, the spiritual master, is coming to this world, and he's like the rain of mercy who came to save those who are qualified and those who is not qualified. Like, as we can say, the one who is, so to say, ready for it, or how to say, who has, I mean, not the right to claim, but I forgot the English word. But the thing is, like, he came to save everyone, not looking at their qualities. And I thought that that's the answer, because if Guru came, like, for everyone, who are we to judge, like, who is qualified or not, and appropriate or not? Like, what do you know? Who is who has what inside? That's it.
Exactly. We can't say, and causeless mercy. We read this continually. I mean, again and again about causeless mercy. And it's not that someone who's very knowledgeable and puffed up cannot get causeless mercy. This is simply an example being given by Srila Guru Maharaj there in the sermons books, and saying that someone who's very capable and proud of their extraordinary qualities, because those who are very smart, they can be, yes, oh, I'm very smart, or they're foolish. It's not so. It's not that just very smart people are qualified to get grace, but some smart people and who are puffed up. For instance, Vallabhabhata came to, right, yes, it was Vallabhabhata, came to Mahaprabhu, and he's wanting Mahaprabhu to hear his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. And Mahaprabhu, he neglected him, he pushed him away, so many things. But finally, he gave his mercy. And so everybody can get mercy. Those who are puffed up also, and who we may think, oh, they're so puffed up, they got no chance of their mercy. No, they can get mercy. And somewhere, and again, it is in the established books of Srila Guru Maharaj, then Guru Maharaj saying that, and are we ready that we may be taken to see Krishna? We come and we see Krishna, and then we see Krishna is embracing and giving so much grace to someone we know who we consider was
Yes, exactly.
unqualified. And he's ignoring me. And of course, we all think, oh, but I'm qualified. I've been chanting Hare Krishna. No, I'm qualified. Are we ready to see that? Do we have this broad vision within us, our non-envious nature? Are we able to do that?
And just recently, Ajita Krishna Prabhu, he was quoting Shilashidhar Maharaj, I believe, and he said, like, the whole Krishna consciousness is concentrated in these two sentences. Like, first, we left everything to achieve something that's invisible, and we might not even achieve it, but still we left everything. And second, we are ready, as you just said, to see that someone who we consider not qualified, like, is sitting on Krishna's lap or getting his mercy. And we are glad, we are happy to see this. We are not envious. So, like, rejection of the whole world and prospect in this world. And second, like, non-envious. And Ajita said, then if you left everything, like, you have no back ticket, you can practice and you can, like, be with the devotees, and whatever like harsh things or good things come from them, you accept it, like, gladly. And if you're non-envious, like, you just understand that if someone says bad words to you, etc., It's just maybe hitting your ego, but not yourself, and like you are living peacefully. That was his words.
Jaya Jita Krishna, and he's constantly hearing Harikatha, he's constantly drawing beautiful expressions from the expressions of our masters. Beautiful. And in the meantime, Sevarupa, she's been still very busy. The search for Sri Krishna, page 46. Trinada pi sunichina teror api or teror eva, both similar. Sahishnuna amanina manadina kirtanya sadaharihi. So could you kindly read for us audibly Sevarupa Devidasi?
And but pronouns. Gurudev.
So this is Srila Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj's words given to us with understanding by Sevarupa.
Create no resistance against our environment. Still, if some undesirable things come towards us, we should tolerate that with our utmost patience. And even if someone attacks us, we won't become violent. We must practice forbearance to the extreme. We shall honor everyone. We will seek no honor. In this way, with the least amount of energy and time, we can attain the highest goal, the plane where Krishna himself is living. That is the most fundamental plane of existence. At that time, all the encasements covering the soul will vanish and die, and the inner soul will awaken and find that he is playing in a sweet wave, dancing and merrymaking in Vrindavan with Krishna and his devotees. And what is Vrindavan? It is neither a fable nor a concocted story. The broadest and widest plane of the whole universe is beauty, sweetness, and blissfulness, and that is present in Vrindavan in all its fullness. We have to dive deep into that plane of reality. Jai.
Beautiful. Yes. Again, wake up call, wake up call, wake up call. So today is a wake up call back to basics. From the heart, wake up call from the heart. Okay, and I've got my little quote, by the way, that we've been woken up by here in Vila Govinda, from the loving search for the lost servant, Srila Guru Maharaj saying, so we have to inquire from a proper agent, follow his advice, and try to understand how to improve our condition. At the same time, we should be conscious that the chance we have to render devotional service is rarely found. It is not very cheap. Therefore, we must utilize every minute, every second, every moment. We should be very much alert that a moment not be lost, that our attempt to dedicate ourselves may continue constantly without being interrupted. That stage of dedication is called nishtha. And when we attain that stage, our taste is further improved, and we will be more and more encouraged to go forward and make progress towards ultimate fulfillment. I'll paste that in the box if it'll let me. It's from the loving search for the lost servant. Oh, it lets me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zoom. All right, dear devotees and Gangalila Dedi, we ask all the devotees to send a little extra your way in the terms of good thoughts, Vaishnava, good wishes. The Vaishnava's good wishes are very valuable. And to help you cross over everything, but you are already crossing over everything. By your expressions, we understand it. And Krishna consciousness, every minute, every second, every moment. This means it is the life, the very life, the living life of the sincere seekers, and it will bring us to our home with the minimum of disturbance from this world.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. All right, thank each of you. We'd better keep our wheels turning because we've got to get into some turning wheels and head out of the door very soon here from Vila Govinda. And we'll meet you all from Thailand, some of you in Thailand and some of you, we will bring all of you to the gathering in Thailand, not a physical place actually, but we'll happily share the gathering in Govinda Farm all over the world, just as each of us are happily sharing where we are in Brazil, in Australia, and in different places of the world. And it's not a location, it's the devotional life. So all glories to the devotional opportunity being given by Mahaprabhu, Sri Guru, and our guardian Vaishnava family. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai all Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. All the assembled devotees here on Zoom and on Facebook ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Haribo. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So have a
Jai
successful,
Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudana Maharaj ki Jai.
wishing you all a
Jai.
successful Seva week. Chant Hare Krishna. Take shelter of the Lord at every moment and be happy. Govinda Govinda. Vrindavaneshwari, Govinda Govinda. Middle of the night, we take off our hat to you. Annutama Devidasi, Radha Sundari, Chintamani. No comment about going to the beauty parlor, what to do in this world. And Priyanana, Sarasinramani, Ganga Leela, Jai Goranga Prabhu, and Savitri, Sevarupadevi. And here we've got our Rasarati Devi Rasi there quietly with our host looking after us, Leela Moy Prabhu. All right, and all of you on Facebook, I don't have it turned on today for a practical reason, but I know you're there. And to all of you, our best wishes and obeisances. Ami Ashchi.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Hare Krishna. Dandava Pranams.